national debt isn't real. Maybe that's a bold stance, but the national debt is not real. There are literally
What?
There was a lot of talk about how Biden doesn't personally decide the prices of things. No, he does not. But it is indirect from the state of the economy. And the president has a lot of influence on the state of the economy. And not just the president, Congress too. But the other thing that I want to say is the reason that I think Trump is better is because at least he actually does what he says he's going to do.
Donald Trump,
Didn't
Donald Trump didn't keep a whole lot of promises. Did he build the
Right.
Oh,
wall?
he did more.
Did
He
he
did
prosecute
more.
Hillary Clinton?
what
Did he
what
divest from
promises?
NATO?
What promises did
No,
Donald
the
Trump
thing
keep?
about well, he speaks for himself. He doesn't have a team of 20,000 interns
problem.
tweeting for him. Here, I can give you an example. So something that Biden has made over 50
Wait.
tweets about.
Wait. You made a claim that
pause.
Donald
Oh,
Trump has kept
well, I
no
was
campaign
explaining
promises?
the claim right now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Which
and
promises?
so between Biden and Trump. So I think I'll give an example of Biden and I'll give an example of Trump. Even if it's not passed, like with Trump, at least like he tries to write policy into law. So
No, wait. Then I
Biden
can just
has
discredit that as a failed promise.
because it's not his doing. It wasn't
Well, if it
failed
didn't
because
pass
he
under
didn't
him,
do it. He proposed it and it was shut down, which okay, great. That's how our Congress works. That's constitutional. But so
that's a
here's my
failed
example.
promise.
Let me give you my example.
And why can't I just say that about Joe Biden, that he proposed to do something and Congress shut it down?
Oh no, there are plenty of things, but there's a lot of things that he says he's going to do and never puts any actions forward whatsoever.
Okay, then what makes the difference between a campaign promise and what you just described?
No, so I think you're misunderstanding what I'm saying here. So if I can
You're
give my
explaining it
example,
poorly.
well, I've been interrupted every single time, so I haven't been able to give my
For
example.
points of clarity, I do interrupt. Yes.
So Biden, here's an example. There's been over 50 tweets and posts on the website, on his Instagram and his Twitter, talking about junk. This is just a random example. Junk fees on Ticketmaster.
Yes,
And he says the
yes,
Biden
he kept that
administration.
promise. He kept that promise. Here you go. Airlines were now
Recently.
required to give automatic cash refunds for canceled and delayed flights as of April 24th.
Yeah, that just happened.
So I'm not talking about airlines. I'm talking about Ticketmaster.
You just said.
No, I said junk fees on Ticketmaster.
So you're talking about
Yes, this applies
Ticketmaster.
to
Well,
that.
well, Ticketmaster has a whole
Monopoly on the ticket game.
right, but it's being investigated by Congress.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, and so regardless, so I guess with
well, I mean, I would
besides
say
all the
not yet, but
examples though. Okay, not yet. Gotcha.
well, yeah, but I would like to know, like, if this is your standard, right? Like, what I would say that, like, that's important. Donald Trump saying he's going to get Mexico to pay for a wall, significantly more so. Could you tell me some things that Donald Trump did and didn't break his promise? Because I can give you a whole host of things he broke his promise on. A fun one: delete ISIS off the internet.
Well, the difference is he tried.
That was tried to delete ISIS off the internet.
The difference is the promise, the broken promises you're talking about. He tried.
So did
Biden
So did Biden.
Yeah. So do you think that? Well, first of all, let's go back to the beginning. Do you think that all of the like social media posts made by the Biden? Do you think Biden posts anything or types out anything himself and addresses the
I
people
really don't
by
think it
himself?
matters, but frankly,
Wow.
I find more.
I mean,
I
how
find,
does-
one
wait,
second.
wait,
I find solace. I find
How does he-
solace in the
wait,
idea that
before
he.
you move on,
Hey, one
before you
second,
move on.
please. I find solace in the idea that he's not doing that, and he's not tweeting out hamburgers and covfefe and
Okay,
random
no,
ass
I'm
conspiracy
not
theories at
talking
4:00 in the morning.
I'm not talking about the substance of what's tweeted out, but the
This isn't-
you
this isn't
don't
unusual.
think it's
Yeah.
alarming
This isn't
No.
that a
unusual.
president
Most elected
isn't
officials don't
directly-
handle
Wait,
their
can I
Twitter.
please finish?
We-
You don't think it's alarming that a president isn't directly addressing the nation himself and that he has
No,
to have his
he
team
does
of
on
interns
occasion.
do it?
Well, no. Here's the thing: Joe Biden goes up on stage 2-3 times a week. But number two, no, I don't find it unusual
And reads off a
that there
screen,
is
yes.
no, he doesn't. He doesn't just read off a script. That's how I know you don't watch him or know enough about this, but he doesn't.
Oh, I do.
Frequently, I'm sure you think that.
Oh, no, I
Frequently,
don't think that. I watch
oh,
every
okay. Oh, you watch it? All
I'm
right. Name
very
the last,
involved.
cool. What was the last speech of Joe Biden's you watched?
The last one I watched was actually when that dude from SNL came, and did all the roast, and then he made
That
his
was a
attempt
roast.
at it.
I'm talking about a speech. What was the last speech that you watched of Joe
Was that
Biden?
not a speech that he went up on
No, that was a
stage and
No, that was
comedy
addressed
not a
the
special.
nation?
speech.
He did address the
Can
nation
you
though. He
tell
talked
me?
about
Can
he,
you
he
tell
It wasn't
talked
a
me?
about like
national
false
address.
supremacists.
Listen, can you stop with the grandstanding? Can you tell me, since you watch him all the time? Can you
I
tell
don't
me
know
what
what
the last?
grandstanding means.
That's fine. Can
We
you
know.
tell me what the last speech of Joe Biden's you watched? No, him doing a thing on stage is not that. And I don't even know what gripe you would have with that. But of substance,
Well, do you want me to answer your question of the last speech I watched?
yes.
The
Yes,
Holocaust
actually.
Remembrance Day speech.
Okay. And what was your gripe with that?
Well, I didn't say I had a gripe with that.
Is this not your
But
argument?
You're
it
taking
was
issue with
obvious
the
that
way he
he's reading.
speaks.
Actually, I guess if I do have to make a gripe, it's that it was obvious that he did not write, and he was just instructed to say the things he said.
Most
He
I
didn't.
don't know.
presidents
Oh
don't
my
write
God.
their
I don't
speeches.
know if you know this or not, but like you understand there are entire media teams. This is like, just to point out, this is like, and this isn't a knock on you, but this is the difference between knowing a lot about politics, which Jaden and I do, and you. You think that
Oh, I have a
bombastic.
degree
Hold
in
on.
political science.
Hold on. I know. So
You should get
it
your money
didn't-
back.
It didn't go to work because anybody in political science that knows when you're writing speeches, when you're addressing people, you have to worry about the international backlash, the diplomatic mess that you could potentially cause. So when you have speechwriters, when you have people handling your social media, you have to worry about that less. This is why every
Yes,
hold on a
no, of
second. Hold on.
course.
This is
You're
why
wasting
every
your breath right now.
wait.
You're wasting
I
your
don't
breath
think
right
I
now.
why are you
You're wasting your
complaining
money.
about you're muted? Why are you complaining about interrupting people and then doing it to me?
You're misunderstanding what I'm
I'm not
saying.
misunderstanding. I want you to stop talking, please. I'm talking. Thank you. Every single president, dating back till multimedia was invented, back to the fireside speeches, they had people helping them. And the reason for that is obvious, so that you don't make a critical blunder in insulting people. I'll give you an example of how badly this can go, okay? Pakistan, where'd you go? Get back in here. I said be quiet, mute. I didn't say leave. Come back in here, thanks. Pakistan, right? Pakistan was a newly formed country back in the 1940s, late 1940s. They had the partition plan in 48, something like that. And Jinnah led it, who is comparable to like what India would view as Gandhi, right? He's their version of Gandhi. And the partition plan made Pakistan, okay? The United States wrote this letter because one of the main founders, the person that took over Pakistan for the first 8 or so years as their leader, died out of the blue. And they wrote a letter saying, hey, this is just an op-ed by a State Department. We're not quite sure if Pakistan will be able to continue as a state following the death of this leader. And they have, to date, apologized for that letter dozens of times in very official ways because it was so offensive to Pakistan, right? Because when the person that wrote that didn't really take into account how they would view it. So this is why it's important to have experts poring over it. You have 5 or 6 people review it. You don't create an international blunder. That's not difficult. And for you to say like, oh, Donald Trump going out and doing this, that's significant. That's a whole that's totally cool. Like, you should know better if you studied political science.
Can I respond?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, no, so that is a good example, and I don't like concede that anyway to the fact. I understand the fact that it has to go through the proper channels and be approved by people, and there are media teams and there are the training, and because of the example you just gave, yes, I understand that, but the difference is when 100%, or okay, maybe let me not say 100%, let me not give a definitive. When 90% of it is so obviously calculated and constructed and nothing seems genuine, that's the difference.
So
If you would like, can we talk about their policies, maybe?
I would, but my
Understand
question is,
Donald
you
Trump
saying it's
didn't write
not
a single
genuine.
State of the Union speech.
Hold on, I want to point this out really quick, because you saying it's not genuine is actually wild. Because if you look at the stuff that Joe Biden has championed since the day he took office, much of it he's got passed. So you can say, wow, the political speeches were calculated. Whatever. Every president's supposed to do that, so you don't have a blunder. I
Not
know
even
that Donald
just
Trump's
speeches,
exempt.
though. Not even just speeches,
For
though.
what?
That's where you're
he
losing
pushed
me.
for he pushed for Build Back Better. He got it over 2 bills: the infrastructure bill and the Inflation Reduction Act.
See, this is where you're fundamentally misunderstanding.
I'm not, because he pushed for those. He's the reason they
No,
happen.
but that's not what I'm talking about. The way when has Biden ever personally showed any type of personality in addressing the nation and acted like a
All
real
the time.
person instead of a robot reading a script?
He was literally on Seth Meyers. Seth Meyers interview.
He was on Howard Stern last night talking
Yeah,
about
he
the
talked
fact that he
about-
contemplated unaliving after his daughter and wife died.
Like, super. That's such a bizarre thing to say. Like Joe Biden is
And the
one of,
fact
Joe
you think
Biden.
that
Hold on a
was
second. Joe Biden.
calculated?
Hold on. Joe Biden is not only one of the most personable presidents we've ever had. He's one of the most well liked in Congress. That's what I find crazy. Is like, everybody that knows Joe Biden knows one thing about him. He's authentic. He's authentic as all hell. In fact, Lindsey
I
Graham
like
praised him
Biden
for that.
too.
Right, but
That's the thing. What you don't understand is if I have to choose between Biden and Trump, I don't like Trump as a person. I don't. But you cannot deny that our economy and the American life was astronomically better under Trump's
I
policy.
know
reasons
you took
outside of
public
his control.
policy. I know you took public policy. You had to
I have a degree.
So then you took public policy. So then this shouldn't be a
multiple
question
classes.
to you as you pointing to things that happened during the Trump administration, and not things that happened because of the Trump administration. That's a quantifiable difference. You just saying, wow, the economy was better. Okay, what'd he do?
Oh, no, I believe that things
What
that
did he
happened
do?
during Trump's presidency
Okay,
are
name a policy for what he did. Let's start
foreign
here.
relations.
What did he
Foreign
do?
relations.
That's not a
We'll get to
policy.
foreign relations. That's not a policy.
So
Hold on. Hold on. 1 second. I just want to direct. There's too many. I'm going to have to hit you with the mute.
that have to do with foreign
I'm
relations.
going to have to
Here,
hit
I'll
you
give
with
you a
the
You were
specific
talking the
policy.
economy.
Because
I'm
want
gonna
talk
have
about
to
the
hit you with the
policies.
mute.
No, I
Okay.
want to talk about the policies that have to do with economics. Let's talk about what Agenda 47, what he
No,
Can you
what he
stop
did.
for a second?
Not
Can you-
what he wants to
Can
do.
you stop for a second? Okay, I'm going to direct traffic. You said the economy was better. All I want is a policy that led to a better economy.
Social Security and Medicaid taxes,
What about it?
they were a
What does it
lot
even
less.
mean?
It is a fact that taxes are higher under Democratic presidencies.
The economy
I'm
also does
asking you,
better.
I'm literally not asking
Can I
you for a
give- can I give
generality.
my
I'm asking you for a
anecdotal
specific.
background?
Listen, I've
Yeah,
been
can
asking
I
you.
give my anecdotal background?
I
and why-
just
why I'm
want, I
bringing
don't
this
want
up?
an anecdote. I don't want a generality. I've asked you for a policy.
It's not a generality.
A generality of saying taxes are higher under Democrats is absolutely a generality.
Okay, sorry, repeat your question.
Can you tell me a thing that Donald Trump did that was directed towards the economy? Some policy he had.
Lowered the cost of Social Security tax.
When did he do that?
That didn't happen.
Oh, yes, it sure did.
When did that
I don't have my
happen?
computer in front of me. I could give you a source, but if I leave, it's gonna mute me. But here's another thing. So, do you know Agenda 47?
I'm aware.
talking about things
I'm
you
aware.
So,
What are
so
we,
that's
when did he cut?
one of the-
When did he cut
Trump
Social
just voted
Security
Social
costs?
Security cuts. He didn't cut taxes, and that's a bad thing, really, to cut the revenue going into Social Security.
No, that's actually a good thing.
Bad thing. Can you tell
Our
me?
taxes
So
don't go
when
where
did
they
he
say
do
they're
this?
going to.
When did he? It feels like this entire conversation is me asking for specifics and you purposefully ignoring me.
Yeah, you don't
Because
have a goddamn
I
degree.
want to give you a source, but I don't have my computer in front of me to read you off the source,
go
and
off
if
the
I
app.
leave, it mutes me.
You can
Can
go
we
off the
not-
app. That's
you can
fine.
come
We'll
back.
wait.
Okay,
That's fine.
I'll
We'll wait.
let me. Can I bring up one more? Let me bring up.
No, get the source.
No, I'm good. I don't want to go. You're just bouncing around like a ping
That's
pong
why you don't
ball.
want. Yeah. Well, I'm
No,
saying
it's going to be a
if I
deflection, and then you're
leave
going to
and it
forget to come
says
back
I
about the
don't.
I
first one.
leave and it says I'm paused, you're like, oh,
That's
come back.
fine. You'll be back.
That's fine. We'll wait.
Take as much
Okay.
time as you need. If you disconnect, we'll invite you right on back.
Okay, wonderful. And then can we talk about
We
Trump's?
can talk about all that, whatever the fuck else afterwards, okay?
Can we talk
Anything
about
you
Trump's
want.
homeless plan when we come back?
We can talk
Yeah,
about
he'll
what
be
he's done.
homeless. Yes, he's planning on buying a tent. Yes, I think she's trying to talk about him cutting taxes.
Wait, are we talking real quick? Because I have a source for either one, but I want to know what we're talking about. Are we talking about
Social Security taxes being cut.
they're going to do?
We were talking about Social Security taxes being cut. That was your claim.
Do you guys, do you want me to tell you the name of it so you can have it in front of you?
I would
By all means,
prefer,
yes.
AmericanProgress.org.
Ah,
Okay.
Plan to defund Social Security.
Plan
it's a plan or an action? Something that took place.
Yeah, Trump's plan to
Again, why
defund
is that
Social
good?
Security.
This was written in 2020.
I know, but that
Why
doesn't
is
mean
that
he did
good?
it.
It's his plan.
Right,
you're
but permanently. This is literally your source. Permanently
No, I'll
terminating the
find- I'll
employee
find
payroll
one.
tax along the lines President Trump has proposed would empty Social Security's trust fund by 2026 or earlier. That sounds fantastic. You can opt out of Social Security. I don't know why people remaining opted in is a problem to
No,
you.
of course you can.
Right. So I don't know why this is a problem to you. I asked you, though, specifically for something he did economy-wise
So,
when he was
well, the
president.
other source I have is CNN, and I don't think you'll approve of that.
I would, but it has to do with what he did when he was president.
It
not
does.
Okay. What does it say? What's the article name?
It says he signed an executive.
Is this right up into the election? Because he did a lot of that shit.
Into the current election that's ongoing.
It says right here, President Donald J. Trump
promise
signed an
I'm not-
executive order. Well, this is an executive order on August 8th that allows employers to defer withholding Social Security tax. However, and by the way, this is in the dead of the heat of COVID, by the way. It's a payroll deferral, not payroll forgiveness, meaning it's a temporary change, and the service members that and the service members and defense civilians have to pay that money in 2021. I don't think that this applied to everyone. I think this just applied to government employees. But this is not getting rid of it. They have to pay it later, and it has to do with social service or has to do with military members.
Oh, so that's only government Okay, well, you know what? I will concede then to the fact that what I was talking about, I guess maybe I was mistaken in that it's only government employees who had that Social Security cut. Can we talk about his plan for homelessness to criminalize homelessness?
I really do you not have an economic issue from his presidency? I can give you some if you would like.
I think our economy would be way better with Agenda 47 enact.
I come to that because what do you think Agenda 47? We'll come back to that in a second. Number one.
Oh, there's multiple things. It's
Number
not
one,
thing.
Donald
It's
Trump signed the
47
tariffs.
covers about
Number one.
15 different topics.
Number one, Donald Trump signed the tariffs. Donald Trump cost us $400 billion in revenue. He cost us an estimated $250 billion.
Oh, that's the other thing. The national debt isn't real. Maybe that's a bold stance, but the national debt is not real. There are literally there are no repercussions. When has America ever not had a national debt? And we're still the best country in the world.
It is real. We have treasury bonds that exceed $32 trillion.
Yeah, and so what are the repercussions if we don't pay it? Because we never
Also,
have
last
paid
time it was paid out was 1835.
Exactly.
I don't know what does this have to do with Trump? Number one. Number two.
because you just said
number
that he
two,
cost
the
$3
point, right? The number
million.
two is the point in which you default is which this is like standard credit card stuff. The point at which you default is when you
does
can no
America have a
longer
credit
afford is when you can no longer afford your minimum payment. right? You have to pay the interest back on those. You also have to pay whatever you have to pay the interest. It's when you can't, in this instance, because it's treasury
But what
bonds,
happens if
it's
we
when you
don't?
can't pay the interest back.
What happens if we don't as a country? What happens if we don't pay our debt off, which we haven't, as he said, since 1835? What happens?
I'm going to be honest with you. That is the subject of an extensive debate that I don't really want to have with you.
Exactly.
But what does that have to do?
You don't even believe it exists.
Well,
This isn't even a conversation. Like, we're not even remotely in the same ballpark of one another of our understanding.
There's just no
Oh my God, stop. We're not even in the remotely the same ballpark of our understanding of economics and government and how bills pass.
He literally just said that Trump cost us, that he spent $40 billion.
No, that's not what I said. No, you misunderstood what I said. Donald Trump signed off tariffs. We got retaliatory tariffs from China to the tune of $400 billion.
Okay.
And that number is disputed. The low end is about 200 billion. I've seen estimates of 250 billion in GDP growth that's gone down.
Do you have the difference in what Biden has spent?
For what? Biden got rid of most of those tariffs.
Through executive order, correct?
Yes, because tariffs are executive order.
Well, that's why I was asking you, correct?
Well,
what tariffs? Give me an example.
Congress writes the tariffs, like, Sorry, go ahead.
And why our country is better off without it.
Without what?
Tariffs.
I said, give me an example of any one of your choosing, any tariff of your choosing of that $400 billion.
The steel tariffs.
And why are we better off now?
Because Trump could point to 3,000 jobs in the Midwest and it cost us $400 billion. It also, we had the Farm Act of 2018, right? We had to bail out farmers because of the retaliatory tariffs from China. So we had to spend tens of billions of dollars so that farmers didn't go under.
Wait, can you repeat that about the farmer China tariff again, please?
Do you remember the Farm Bill from 2018?
Mm-hmm.
We had to bail out farmers because they had nobody to sell crop to.
I just realized she sounds like a worse version of Sanvi.
Where did you go to school? No, I shouldn't. I'm not going to school.
I'll tell you. Colorado State University in Fort Collins.
Apparently WSU's better.
Okay,
sorry.
honestly.
Listen, you can't blame me for that knock, all right?
No, I'm not. That's what I'm saying. Honestly, so I don't major in economics. That's not my field of study. I actually work in tax law. I am a legal assistant to a judge who works with tax law. That's my area of expertise. Can we talk about...
Clearly not.
Can we talk about Trump's homeless plan?
Sure.
Whatever.
I don't know what his plan is, but sure.
Agenda 47. So there's a big misconception
we know that.
Everybody thinks that Trump is going to criminalize being homeless.
Almost because it says it on his website.
Yeah, so that's the misconception.
What is the accuracy?
So that's one of my...
What's the accurate argument, please?
The thing is I've actually...
Excuse me. What is the accurate position of the Trump administration if not criminalizing outdoor encampments?
No, they're not criminalizing outdoor encampment. They're having...
Okay, clarify.
So the way to... Yeah, I am. The way to combat homelessness is they're going to have specific tent cities that the homeless people will go to. And so he's not criminalizing being homeless, but he's giving them an option. If you don't go to this tent city, it's clearing the streets, and everybody wants to know. Every politician, left or right.
If you don't go to this tent city, then
what? You criminalize homelessness? So, in other words, it's a concentration camp for homeless people. That's logical. I wouldn't. How would you even argue? How would you even ever argue that wasn't a concentration camp? Yeah, but how would you even argue that's not a what?
I fully understand that there are a lot of people who are homeless because life handed them a bad deck of cards. And honestly, if I was homeless, I'd want to do drugs too. But there's still on the left.
Not. Hold on.
Stop.
Pause.
Let me finish.
Pause.
No,
No,
I'm sorry. Okay,
no,
I'm sorry. That was a bad faith argument.
disgusting.
But let me
Right.
It's not just bad faith, it's
Listen.
inhuman.
Right.
What's inhuman?
Saying that all homeless people do drugs. Most homeless people are working.
That's exactly the
poor.
opposite of what I just said. That is exactly the opposite of what I just said. I said I know that it's a stereotypical thing to assume that
what
all
you
of
said.
them do.
You said if you were homeless, you'd likely do drugs too. You didn't point to the stereotype and say
And what
that.
I started by saying was, I understand that not every homeless like some people just get a bad deck of cards handed to them. They have a horrible life. It is not by their doing. They don't, it's nothing. It's nothing that they did, But anyways,
I just would. How is that not an internment camp?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Going to the policy. So on both sides, homelessness is one of the largest issues. So I live in Colorado. Denver, Colorado has one
We
of the
got that.
highest.
Let me just ask you something.
No,
Okay?
please let me finish a
Shut up.
single sentence.
No.
I
Just to
haven't
lighten the
even made
mood.
my
Hey!
claim yet.
Lady, just to
I
lighten the
haven't
mood,
even made
okay?
my claim.
Just to lighten the mood from that horrific drug comment, okay? I just want a moment of humor. Humor me, please. Okay, you can stop speaking now. I just want to ask you. I just want to ask you. I just want to ask you if you'd like to hear. If you stop, I would just like to ask you if you would like to hear a joke, so we can come down from this tension. Are you ready?
No, I would not like to hear a joke. I would like to make my point.
Too bad. Knock, knock. Knock, knock.
All right, I'll ask for you. Who's
wait.
there?
Toodle.
Toodle who?
Okay.
Toodaloo, loser.
We do not care.
Yeah, I got to kick you after that. That was pretty despicable. I'm be honest. You got to think about your actions. You can come back here in the future, but you're going to apologize for that because that was pretty sick. So you had to go. And here's the thing. I mean, I would have finished the conversation for a few minutes, but that was pretty, yeah.